Oh, Rosemary, I see that you're very busy there. Oh, you're with the Puss in Boots' father's daughter's collection. Oh, was there any news at all on, Betty Butterfly? What happened there? I don't quite get it. Oh, let me have a look. Oh, yes. No. Oh, don't worry about that. Oh, all's fair in love and war in the art of war, as they say. Oh, no, she loves the Butterfly Club. But anyway, oh, listen to this, Puss in Boots' father's daughter. Oh, this is a very short novel, this one is. Oh, it's in response to that letter from the agency. You know, that foreign one that they say is not a foreign one, but it is. It's registered with that foreign thing. Oh, it's an SEC or something. Oh, I'm not too sure, Janie. Oh, but, oh, come on, ladies, just get down to business. Okay, so on such and such a day, July 2021, Puss in Boots' father's daughter responded to the agency. Dear Mr. So-and-so. Oh, this is the one above that Kenny Koala. Yes, it's the one above him, or the one that should be the only one in the power there, but they're not elected by the people. But anyway, dear Mr. So-and-so, without prejudice. 1. Request for a tax invoice for the rates of the property and the charges for the private property at street address such and such. 2. In response to the letter dated the such and such a June 2021 from Kenny Koala of your agency. In October 2021, the Commissioner for the Tax Office viewed that general rates are an Aussie tax for the purposes of section 8.1 to 5 in bracket 1 close bracket of the GST Act, so that general rates are not subject to GST. An Aussie tax is defined as a tax imposed under Aussie law, which is defined to be a law of the Commonwealth, state or territory. The power to charge rates is found in the such and such Act, being a legislative act of state parliament. Further, the rates as a tax, because they are a compulsory exaction of money by a public authority for public purposes, enforceable by law, and is not a payment for services rendered, referring to case law. This is Supreme Court case law. Matthews versus Chicory Marketing Board, Victoria, 1938, 60 space CLR 263 per Latham CJ. Full stop. The Commissioner of the Tax Office also relied on the long-standing High Court decision in the Municipal Council of Sydney versus the Commonwealth in brackets 1904. 1 CLR 208, where all three judges found that the municipal rates in questions were taxes within the meaning of Section 114 of the Constitution. I also note that Land Tax Abolition Number 81 of 1952, an Act to abolish land tax, assent to the 6th of November 1952, Section 3, land tax shall not be levied and paid for the financial year which commenced on the 1st day of July 1952, or for any subsequent financial year. Considering the above, which is knowledge made available to the public, and providing your counsel is lawfully requesting payments for all taxes, i.e., that is, rates and charges, it is my duty, and also for correct record keeping, to request your agency provide a tax invoice for any further payments of taxes, i.e. rates, for my private property. It is in fee simple, therefore you cannot touch it. So, for good. In response to the letter dated such and such of June 2021 from Kenny Koala, I have been forwarded the letter from the agency. I note the signature of Kenny Koala has not been signed in wet ink, therefore raising questions as to the authenticity of the author of the signature on the document. I believe the letter from Kenny Koala is in response to my correspondence dated the such and such of February 2021, addressed to you. My correspondence regarding unlawful access and entry to my private property, trespass of my private property, and an election to have the matters heard in the correct court regarding the penalty that you subsequently issued unlawfully. Mr. Kenny Koala's letter dated in June 2021 did not address the unlawfully issued penalty. I believe Mr. Kenny Koala did not address the penalty, perhaps due to his failure to adequately address the correspondence dated such and such of November 2019. After some time it appears he decided to try and shut me up by placing me on an unlawful behaviour management policy. I have sustained a great harm from the actions of employees of your agencies, including its CEO, Mr. Kenny Koala. Oh, you haven't been able to sleep at all since November when 7 of them come to your property with 2 of the local constabulary. Oh, and they didn't even get the court order correctly spelt in your name either. No, I know, but I'm not going to go into the private details as to why. But anyway, the harm could have been avoided had Mr. Kenny Koala and others employed and or of service providers to your agency conducted their duties in a lawful manner. Further, the such and such described in the penalty notice became deceased prior to the issuing of the notice for the person described in the penalty notice. Frontline staff such as the issuing officer of the penalty and her supervisor who was in attendance at the time they trespassed, etc., are often the scapegoats for all agencies they work for. However, it is the duty of any enforcement officer to ensure a proper investigation is conducted and that they adhere to the law themselves. Unlawful access, entry and trespass should not be tolerated. Ignorance to the law is not excusable, nor is abuse of power or abuse of office. Mr. Kenny Koala advises in his correspondence that should we be dissatisfied with the outcome of the complaints process or the decision, that we are entitled to request an independent review through the complaints process of the such and such ombudsman's office. Independent? How is that fucking independent? When the fucking government investigate themselves, i.e. the government? I have attached the following documentation. A copy of the letter. A copy of perceptions of corruption and integrity in the government findings of the government employees, publication by Crime and Misconduct Commission. An original signed document, notice of knowledge addressed to you. Yes, the notice of knowledge, it's for the public record and it outlines the corruption within them all. I'll send a copy to the ombudsman anyway. He used to work for that legal place as a CEO. So if you're a CEO, you're a CEO of a corporation, not a government fucking body. See how daft they are. I followed up with a letter too to say there's some more signage now. The no trespass signage displayed on the gates and fencing at the private property at such and such address. This signage is to be viewed also as notice to agent is notice to principal. Notice to principal is notice to agent. Therefore, local constabulary, take note. And a copy of the trespass sign. Yes, take notice. Is any express or implied permission to enter this property is hereby withdrawn and cancelled, as it was previously. I've just updated it with a bit more case law. Entry by permission in writing with the landowner's signature only. They'll probably be like the hospital and fucking forge a signature. Yeah, well, if they fucking do, Big Brother will be onto them. Big Brother knows everything, and they don't know that we know that Big Brother knows what we know about Big Brother. No trespass, no firearms or animals allowed on property without permission. Neither your fucking digital devices which cause unlawful emissions of electromagnetic fields. The principles associated with trespass have been reaffirmed by the High Court in Aussie. Warrants George versus Rocket 1991. Property Rights Plenty versus Dillon 1991. Fee Simple, take fucking note of that one, Fee Simple. The Commonwealth versus New South Wales. Trespass, Kuru versus the NSWHCA. Withdrawal of licence to enter. Robson versus Hallett, 1967. The High Court has withheld that without the permission of the landholder, the common law does not entitle any one to go onto another's land without permission. A local law is not superior to a gazetted federal law. Moreover, it cannot be legislatively, if it cannot be legislatively supported, then it is invalid in law. Any attempted forcible entry will be treated as a home invasion. The police will be called and you will be charged with a breach of Section 70, in brackets, forcible entry. Section 75, threatening violence. Oh yes, because that penalty notice. Oh, so they've all breached both of those so far. And Section 92, abuse of office of the Criminal Code Act, not 1899. Oh, they breached that one too. Oh goodness, how are they going to respond to that letter? Oh, probably, on such and such date we'll put you under the behaviour management policy, therefore no further correspondence will be entered into. Oh goodness.